Hello. So that I thought that I would still use my old glasses because of I have a non-glare non on these, and the new ones I forgot to tell him. She asked me, "Do you want the same?" And I go, "Yes." And but anyway, I didn't ask for specifically for the non-glare. So anyway, next time. Anyway, so I saw this article that I thought was interesting that many people could maybe benefit from. And it's about people that you encounter that are passive aggressive. Now, that's not violent because that would be more fight. So passive, so you have your open five hand with an eight, so it's an open eight because an eight would be like this, right? So it's an open eight, so you still have your middle fingers down, and this is like here, and you go back, and it's passive, passive, aggressive, and you can do like a fight, but this would be more fight, right? So this is or violent, so this would be aggressive. So here's the things that people say or don't say. So they said that many times that passive aggressive people will be like vague, or they'll have these little digs that they say. And so the person that is mentally strong, and that's what the article is talking about, is mentally strong people. You would, like, if they're vague about something, if you've asked them, it says to say, help me understand what you mean. Help me. Remember, this is help, so this is help in general, and it's I help you, you help me. So help me understand what you mean. And you could say, and then you could even say what you mean by, and then answer that. Because if they're vague, then you're not getting a straight answer, or it's not clear. So say, help me understand what you mean. And the second, there's another one that's kind of close to it. So the second one is about, I need a direct answer. Because they're vague, they may say, well, because, and I do that too. I'm answering it, but I'm having like conditions about this, that, or the other. I'll say, oh, because my car, broke down, then I'll have to wait until next week to do it, or something like that. So I think that that's more of a direct answer, but some people are more vague, going, well, I can't because blah, 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 but they don't answer when you ask, for example, when. So if they answer and it's kind of all around this, then you can say, I'm going to need a direct answer. So specifically, right? So you can say a direct answer, or you can say specific time or specific place. You can just ask those more detailed questions so that they'll answer you more directly, right? So I'm gonna need a direct answer, or I need more of an exact time of when or where, that type of thing. And the third thing is, if they're complaining and they're just kind of, that insulting type of thing, you could say, well, what are, the response is in English, what would you like me to do differently? You want me to do what different? You know, what do you want me to do different? How do you want me to do it different? You could answer, you could respond that way. So, because you could say, what's wrong? Well, blah, 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 and they go on and on. Do you want me to do something different, or what do you want me to do differently? Do different what? That would be very ASL. This is do, do. So you would say do what different? So you're trying to ask him, what would you like me to do differently? And it's very tiring, right? Because you're just wishing they would just be direct. Tell me what you want me to do. But that way, you're not becoming frustrated. Okay. Number 4. If they're complaining about, this, there's just a variety of different things, you can say, well, let's focus on solutions. So solutions let's focus. So if they're complaining, but they don't give any solutions, then you can say, hey, solutions, let's focus. What can we do about this, or this? And so their biggest complaints. So what do you think we can do about that? Let's focus on the solutions. And that's going to help them, but really you don't. It's really to help yourself, so you don't have so much frustration. So they can even, instead of saying, let's try this, and no, I tried and that doesn't work because, those are some things we all say, right? But if they're just complaining, oh, let's just solutions, let's just focus on that. For that complaint, what do you think we can do? Do what? Do that, whatever they're complaining about. The parking situation, what we can do. What we can do? Do what? Do what? What do you think we can do better or different? So you can have that type of suggestions and saying, well, if you would arrive early. So that would be my way of saying it. Maybe not the best way. Okay, and then number 5 is, here's the statement. I'm not comfortable with this dynamic. Well, the dynamic could be the situation, or dynamic can be movement, or it can be dynamic as like, oh, they're a dynamic speaker, right? They're lively, they're bright, they're, that kind of thing. So let's really kind of unpack what that means. So when you say dynamic, I'm going to say situation, because in this instance they're talking about what if someone is giving you the silent treatment, or they're being nice to your face, but they're they're really kind of picking on you behind your back. So or maybe they don't include you on decisions that you're in charge of, or something like that. So you would say, this situation I'm not comfortable with. This is with. You don't even have to use that one. This situation I'm not comfortable. And they may say, well, what do you mean? You can say, well, because you say one thing and then I hear something else. Or you're making decisions that I'm in charge of, but you don't include me about the decisions. And so I look like, a fool, or something like that. Because the behaviors, they want you to feel unbalanced. So this is balance, so unbalanced, right? Balance, unbalanced. So they want you to feel that way so that they feel more superior or in more control. So you can say, this situation, I'm not comfortable. They may say, well, what do you mean? Well, decisions you make, you tell other people, but not me, and then I look silly, or I look, foolish. This could be foolish too, silly or foolish. So, I think this is the last one, number 6. Yes, number 6 is the last one. Sorry, I'm looking at this. So number 6 is the last one. And it says, like if that person is really upset, and maybe they're just not just complaining, but maybe even yelling, or just a really show of they're very upset. And so you're frustrated because you don't know what to do or why they're saying that. So you can say, this is a mentally strong people say, I see you're upset, so let's discuss or chat whenever you're ready. So in a more ASL, you would say, whenever you're ready, let's chat. I see you're upset. So let's do it in stronger ASL, because I'm just thinking, I do this video when I talk just kind of off the top of my head, so you see how the process works. So the sentence is, I can see you're upset, so let's talk when you're ready. I notice you upset. Whenever you're ready, let's discuss or let's chat. That's a better ASL. I notice you upset. Or you could say upset, I notice. That's a short phrase. You can say it either way. Then, whenever you're ready, so that's time, right? Whenever you're ready, let's either discuss, or let's chat, or let's have a conversation. Whichever, because you could be a friend, you could be family, or you could be the boss, right? So it could be at work. So it's going to depend on that situation. So I see you're upset, or I notice you upset. Whenever you're ready, let's discuss it, or let's chat about it, or let's have a conversation. So it's not, you don't have to be the boss to say this. It could be to your boss, but they're just trying to kind of trip you up, right? Because whenever you see that they are clearly angry, or you ask them a question and they're bothered and upset, and they just kind of lash out. I notice you're upset about this, so whenever you're ready, we'll discuss it, because it's something that maybe you need to know about. You do. So this person who's passive aggressive wants you to pursue them, right? This is chasing. They want you to pursue you. Pursue them. And so they want you to continue to do that. They want to show that they're upset. They want to show that they're not happy. So, but you're not a detective and you don't want to have to investigate that. So anyway, let's see. Okay. So the psychologist that wrote this article said that when passive aggressive people use these techniques, they're trying to unbalance you. They're trying to make you feel at fault. And so if you use these statements that a mentally strong person does, then it causes them to kind of step back and go, I need to interact, or I need to face this person differently. So, and they may do something kind of weird or whatever, but you will stop feeling like you're crazy. And that's really the important point. You feel like, well, am I crazy, or what's going on here? So, and so sometimes you're walking on eggshells, that you have to be, very careful and cautious. That's more ASL. And you feel like you're involved in a game. And for me personally, I am not a game player, or I don't play games really well. I always, lose. You don't lose something, but you fail, you lose it. It's always fail at games. Anyway, so I don't do well at that, because sometimes you're thinking, you're trying to be patient. You're going, they're having a bad day, and you may say that. I notice you're having a bad day, or you're upset, and let's discuss this later. Or if you could just give me a direct answer, maybe in an email, because I notice that you're upset, because maybe they want a confrontation, and you're thinking, I'm not doing that. Just email me or text me or whatever. So you can do those different things. So kind of watch this video again and see how you can confront them. And remember to practice with your deaf friends, your hard of hearing friends, and your hearing friends, and practice that sign and find out how you can do your ASL more clear and in better grammar. So practice, enjoy. I'll see you later. Bye.